Hey, g'day, hi, welcome. Okay, just running in. Some light in here. It's a dark morning. Here we go. Oh yeah, I got one in there. Hey. So I got him on the warning graphic. If you're gonna look away, I didn't catch a mouse up there. I didn't catch the mouse up there, but I caught him down here. Yeah. Yeah. Is that a mouse or is that a mole? That's a mole. Okay, 13 mice and one mole. I caught a freaking mole, guys. Look at that. It's a mole. Yeah, it's a mole. That is crazy. Okay, I'll just put this here for a second. And let your ADD get the best of you. Well, today, the good news about today. Okay, I've never caught a mole in the house before, ever. I guess it happens. So, put this thing back like so. Don't get caught. Don't get caught in my own trap. But yeah, I've never caught a mole in the house before. So I got one mole and 13 mice so far. I'll put that back there. That's weird. That's weird. Get some water. I'll get into the video. The fridge. Fridge doesn't smell too bad. Sorry. A little parched. I don't know how dry I'm gonna stay today. Do a good light test today. So hope you guys enjoyed the video from yesterday. Whoop. From the making of this video yesterday. I did the Aussie tribute yesterday. Mom come home. That was pretty fun. I had to do something. There we go. So okay, so that's how much light I'm gonna get off of that. But that's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. We get the other lamp working too. That won't be so bad. This is the darkest it's been since I came down here. But I don't really need to have that on, so I'll shut it off. Okay, so let's talk about the fridge. Okay, somebody suggested, Reg, just chuck the fridge out and get another one. No, you can actually clean these things. Do the smell test. Hang on. It was a little musty, but like another Javix thing, I can smell more Javix than must. So yeah, I'll let it air out for like about a week. That's usually the way my mom used to do it. Just let it air out. And once it really dries, give it one more good dosing of Javix. It'll be good. I still got to do all the cupboards and all that. I can't believe I caught a mole. That was weird. It was so weird. But again, product replacement that I'm not getting paid for, but that's what this stuff is for. I gotta go buy a bunch of these. Throw one of those in your fridge. You open it up there, but you gotta replace it like every month or something like that. Every 2 months. Yeah, read the packaging. It'll tell you. I got these dishes here to put away. Getting down. Got the dish boxes for the knives and stuff. They can go in there like so. So I can start putting them. I don't know how much dishes do I have. Well, I'll see. I'll start with one anyway. Like that. Put all this away when I come back later. Brought down a couple of things. Like I don't overthink it when I come down. I just grab something, but there's like less and less to grab. I grabbed the microphone stand. I brought that down. It's over against the chair. Brought this down. Maybe what I gotta do then. Got about 45 minutes to kill. I came down, got the. I just wanted to do the mouse mole removal, and wanted to do that. And right. Oh, I'm gonna hit my broom though. Can't be hitting my broom. There we go. So yeah, no, I'm not gonna throw out the fridge. Like the stuff that was in it was bad, but that's all taken care of now. I still got to wash the outside of it, but let it air out for like a week. I mean, I could probably, you don't probably have to let it air out for a week, but I'm going to just cause I can, right? I still got to clean the shelving for inside it and all that. That'll take me, not too much time. Then it all goes back together. The only thing you don't do though, if you leave the fridge unplugged, is don't leave it closed. Then you're asking for trouble. Because remember, it is a sealed unit that will hold humidity in. But if you just let it air out for a bit, Javix it maybe once, twice, and then put the Arm & Hammer. Because the Arm & Hammer, the reason why I throw it all over the place is if you don't have dustbane, it'll kind of work. It's a deodorizer. It basically, it's not like deodorant. It basically what it does is people can use it for that too. I think baking soda is good for just about everything. What it does is it absorbs, right? So a lot of people like, if you have an onion in the fridge, it'll absorb the smell of the fridge. Little bowl of vinegar, you can put that in there too. Probably try that for a little bit too, while it's sitting there airing out. And then baking soda, you just open the box and it absorbs a lot of the smell. And you do this with a brand new fridge. It's just this fridge hasn't been cleaned in a long, long time, so there's a bit of a funky smell in there. But once it goes cold again, you won't smell it, right? So it's just but if you air it out good, it takes a little bit. Like it's not stinking up the house, so house doesn't smell that bad considering how it rained last night. Probably should have left my plants outside. That would have been good for them. But I gotta wake up. Holy jeez. I'm gonna be using my brush cutter today, so make some money with that. Don't know what kind of week it's gonna be. I was supposed to do a big bin, fill one of those drop-off bins. I was supposed to fill that this weekend for a client, but I called her last night. She's like, "Oh, don't worry about it. I gotta go see my daughter, who I haven't seen in like 25 years," kind of thing. I guess because she lived far away or whatever. She's coming into town, so I want to go see her there, and her niece or something like that. I can't remember what she said. Daughter or niece. I was like, I haven't seen her in like 25 years. So it's like, yeah, it's like, she's going to be in town. So I was like, yeah, we're going to get together. So it was good for them. So for me, today, not much is going to get done in here today at all because it's Monday and it's work day and whatever. But when I come back, I'll put the dishes that are there away and then maybe do a little more dishes. But it is Monday, so that means the recycling is going to be emptied. That's a lot of recycling I gotta go through. But I guess I'll show you. I'll show you. Again, it takes time to build up all the junk and the garbage and stuff like that, but it takes more time to get rid of it, it seems. But as long as you're just getting rid of it, like, I'll show you what next mess to tackle, because I got all the garbage out of the house per se, except for down in the basement. I got to go through that. But on the main floor here, everything's kind of taken care of. But you see, like all this stuff here, it's jamming up all my spot for the tools and stuff like that. And there's a lot of stuff that I chucked here as well, like that container that's going, the Pepsi. Okay, that's going to can make money on that. But like anything like these plastic bowls, these plates, I can smash up the plates, fill the bin, and like there's probably half a bin's worth of stuff right here that once it's gone, I can move around a little bit more. And then maybe another quarter of a bin worth of stuff here. And then I'm sure there's a couple of bins worth of stuff over here. So again, it's nice to have all this out of the yard. Oh, I guess I better put wide angle. Yeah, there we go. It's nice to have all those things out of the yard, even though I didn't get rid of them per se. I just kind of diverted them. Like anything plastic, that's I said a lot like that. That can go right away as recycling. So it's not going to make a big dent. One recycling bin at a time. It's not going to make a big dent in here. One garbage bag at a time. Not going to make a big dent in here. But anything wood is going to get burnt. It's just got to bust it up. I got to find a spot for this so I could put it on there later on after everything's all cleared out. But you see all this like old wood, all that's going to get burned. Uh, yeah, other discoveries that I've made. Last night, after taking my shower, I discovered, oh yeah, and all that stuff lying over there. That's plastic and all that. That'll be cleaned up. So the whole yard is almost all cleaned up. It's just my brother's tires. Eventually, I'm going to move the garbage or the burn barrel. I just don't like it. It just looks dumpy. The house looks junky enough. Don't want to encourage it anymore. But I'm going to show you what happened. If we're able to see it. I can turn on light, but you won't be able to. Light. I don't have a light in that room yet, so I guess I got to get 2 more lamps or 1 more lamp because I have another lamp there. But it basically, I'll show you what happened. So when I took my shower, the water ran. I guess I didn't have the curtain far enough back, and it ran and pooled up right there. Okay, now I could see where there's some caulking there. I guess my brother already tried it, but I'm gonna have to get some more. And what I saw was right on the other side, right here, right exactly here, is where the water comes through. So it just comes up under the wall plate. So at least I tracked that source. Oh yeah, I didn't see if there's any. I don't see any in there. I can't tell. I don't think so. So I only caught a mole today. I didn't catch a mouse today. So so if there was only 13 mice in this house and 1 mole, I did pretty good. So anyway, I couldn't come up with a solution for that, and what have you. Oh, I'm very groggy today. It's one of those days that I think I got to get moving pretty quick or else. But I did a fair amount of work around here yesterday, including a lot of with the pick and stuff like shoveling. So I did that yesterday. If it's really, really wet and miserable, I won't dig anything out. But if I could spend 15 minutes all week, so that'd be basically an hour and 15 minutes extra on that back wall just till the weekend. And then on the weekend, do another whatever I can get away with. If it's another 10 wheelbarrow loads out of there. If I get 15 wheelbarrow loads or 20 wheelbarrow loads out of there this weekend or this whole week, while I'm, like after work, just come in, just grab the shovel and fill the wheelbarrow, maybe once, twice. Okay. That's probably about 15 minutes worth of work. Within 2 weeks, that'll be done, right? So probably maybe sooner. I'd like to get it done, like I say, before the end of October for sure, before the snow flies. Right now, we don't know what kind of weather we're going to get because we're in that time frame where you're in between September and October, getting closer to October. And what that does is the weather gets even more unpredictable, right? So it could be 0 in the morning and sunny and frost everywhere, or it could be in the pluses when you wake up, sunny or cloudy, or rain for 2 weeks. You don't know what you're going to get, right? So the outside work has got to get done really quick. So there is no plastic to be found anywhere up home. So we must have used it all. I was sure there was some. Like, it's probably buried under a whole bunch of stuff that we just can't find it. You know what I mean? So I got to get a roll of plastic. It's something that I'm going to use up over time anyway. It's not like, okay, I'm only going to do the 2 back windows or the couple of windows and then that's it. No, it's I might get a year or 2 years out of it, but no, I will use up all the plastic. The other thing is digging out my basement in the back wall. That's kind of like priority number 1. Like in here, I could take my time with everything. It doesn't really matter, but I'd like to get it done sooner than later. I'm going to do another major sweeping, and then So I've done now round one of all the cobwebs. All the cobwebs are down for round one, which was they were pretty thick. Um, but they're constant, right? So as long as even if I take them down like once a week, that's probably lots. Um, so I'm going to do a really major sweeping on that. Once everything goes back in the fridge and I plug the fridge back in and all that, but I got to pull out the fridge. I've already got it under the stove, and I still got to wash the outside of the stove too. But I'm going to pull the fridge right out, see how much, even lean it over just to see how much I can get out of it. But I'm going to do it when I have the shop vac. So one of the first things I'll do is I'll shop vac underneath the fridge for all the dog hair and stuff like that that might be under there. Get that cleaned out. I got all the dog hair pretty much out from underneath the stove. So it's coming along, you know what I mean? And then, just stuff to take on. Like, I mean, I'm going to be finding dog hair in here for the next, like, 2 years, you know? It'll be just like, oh, there's still some there. But I want to get the registers and the baseboard heaters all vacuumed out before the baseboard heaters start coming on, like, full time type of thing. And I'm going to see if I can get the hydro in my name this week if I can. It'd be nice. It's kind of one of those things that, like I explained before, both my brother and I work, so getting a hold of hydro is like not easy. Because you call in the evening. If they answer, it's you're just lucky. You just got lucky. But I'll try it anyway because it is October is approaching fast, and he's only paid up to October, and I know even though I'll pay the bill, it stresses him out that he's a bit of a higher stress guy than I am. I'm pretty chill, but it's like just that it's in his name. It's something that okay, well he has to deal with it. Like even if I give him the money, I'd rather just okay, let's see if we can get it into my name once and for all. And okay, we'll have to sit on the phone for an hour or whatever. Yeah, sure, it's annoying, but once it's done, right? Then it's no longer his problem; it'll be mine. So my goal is pretty simple: is to get the hydro in my name, um, and when I do, the upside to that is pretty easy. That everything will be my name. So it's a damp day. I gotta see what the humidity level's at. The humidity is always higher in the morning here. I just want to see what it's at though. Just curious. 63, 61, 63. So 63. It's not as high as I thought it was, considering it rained all night. But the big one is that it's, like I say, I still got the air flowing through here. So I don't know how often I'm going to use that dehumidifier, but the wintertime is probably mainly when I'm going to use it. You know what I mean? Because if the place is drier going into the spring, it'll be no problem. Then all summer, just let the house, regulate to whatever the daily humidity is, just so it doesn't build humidity, right? So, yeah. So things are coming along. I'm getting to the point now where it's like, okay, I've got my list of projects to do. Like the cleaning is taking up most of my time, right? So it's like just getting everything clean. The big thing is getting all this junk out. Now the thing is because everything is in the woodshed, even if I don't get it all done, like every week, either garbage is going to go out, a bin of garbage or a bin of recycling, right? So this week it's the recycling. So it takes a long time to get stuff out. But for example, in here, well, with the exception of the basement, but a lot of the stuff in the basement is all big, bulky stuff that's just going to get tossed outside. And sand, I'm going to throw it in, just throw it in the ground. I don't throw that in the actual garbage. There's actually really next to no garbage in here whatsoever. And it will remain that way. Like I'm going to have a garbage can here and there, but, there's that one there to empty and that's it. For in here, everything else is out. There's one out on the porch, aka my garage. There's one out there to empty. Time, I said that about 20 minutes or so. But like the garbage can, like like the plastic stuff, I prefer to throw it in the recycling, because in the glass and all that, because whatever. But if the garbage can is empty, like those garbage cans and recycling will be full. Like, there's a lot of stuff that you can throw in the recycling, but you can also throw it in the garbage can. So for me, it's just to, I don't mind taking the time. If it takes me a year to clear out the woodshed, who cares? It's only once I get the wood stove in, which won't happen this season anyway. It'll happen next season. Once I get the wood stove in, uh, then after that, it's like, okay, wood stove's in. Now I need a place for wood, and that's when I put the major push on the woodshed, getting it cleared out. But that said, by the time I get the wood stove, it'll probably be cleared out. Again, if I just keep doing just 2 bins every week, and then that real big stuff, I missed this large waste pickup because relatives came up. The sister, my brother's wife, basically her relatives came up, and that my dad, was back at the Bears Den with them, so I didn't get access to the truck this weekend, which was the large waste pickup. So the thing is, it was mainly to get the dressers out, those mattresses. There's one mattress up home I got to get chucked out. But it can live for a little while. Like, I mean, it's just, it's just want to get rid of it, right? But there's a lot of metal too. Like, there's a lot of metal pots and stuff like that that I'm just not going to keep. And I'm going to make, metal piles inside the woodshed too. The big stuff I have it across the driveway for now. But it hopefully will be gone by the end of October. I'll have to move it out a bit more because, like, clear another spot for it. The reason being is if I have to put it up against the barn or by the barn, that's fine. 'Cause whatever, I want the plow guy to have as much room to do whatever he wants, right? The only thing is, like, the guy can only plow in so much because of all the little stumps that are going to be there could break the plow, right? So because I'm cutting trees down and stuff like that. So, but if you can push it, go nuts. you know. The outdoor work is going to be probably more towards like this weekend. I'll probably go nuts with the brush cutter again. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of research on how to sharpen them really good. I have the files and everything. I'm sure I'm good to go. But um, I have used this brush cutter quite a bit, mostly here. But um, the thing is that with the brush cutter, uh, the more I can knock down now and get raked out of the way, the easier it'll be to see in the spring. Because like in the spring, everything just goes, you know. Like even if you try to get like a week a head start on, like there's just that, May June kind of or April to June where just like you can't stay ahead of the grass at all. So I didn't get the grass cut yet, but hopefully this weekend coming, if I'm not working, I will. That's what slows me down is the working, right? I'll see if I can gas up the riding more and see how much I can get cut here. Even if that's the last cut I do this season, like the grass just really isn't growing a lot right now to the point where my buddy and I aren't cutting a lot of grass. It's been cool. Um, it's been a cooler than average year in my area for sure. It was a late wet spring, and then we had that heat wave for about 2 or 3 weeks, and then everybody's like during the heat wave, oh my god, it's the hottest year on record. It's not the hottest year on record, but it was hot and dry. There was a little bit, there was some fires and stuff like that. Not right in my area, but after that, it's been kind of like raining all the time, right? And now we're, like we've already had frost. So once you've had frost, like your grass really isn't gonna. Like I'm about to get called by all my clients to say, well, I think that we're gonna call that a season. It's like usually I try to push it into October as much as I can. Like even if it's the first week, second week of October, that'd be great. Like, I'll do 2 more. Like you just keep it going. But like the last time I cut the grass, I only cut like half of it because it just didn't grow, and I cut the main one, but It's like that skips on the hours a lot. You know what I mean? So it's like the thing is that well, I might as well while I'm at it. You know, just looked at it. Let me throw the Arm and Hammer in here. Let it do some absorption. That one's probably been in there for 10 years, but so it probably can't absorb anymore. But why not? I'll try it. Yeah. So the thing is that with the weather changing, so will my hours, and the fear I have is that I didn't make enough money, uh, to have enough money to get me through the entire winter, right? So it's really going to be kind of if I'm lucky enough to get people to keep me going. Uh, I mean, last year and the year before, I got lucky in January and February, and I had people keeping me going. But now I have no vehicle, right? And everybody's just get a vehicle. It's not. Yeah, you can get something that's going to break down in 5 minutes very easily. It's hard to find a good vehicle, especially at the price range that I'm at, right? There's lots of good vehicles that you have to. There's a lot of caveats for me. Number one, it has to be plated in Quebec. The reason being is if not, you have to get a safety check. And if you live in Quebec, you know that, especially if you're English, if you go to get a safety check on a vehicle, you're going to be spending like, if you're lucky, minimum an extra $1,000. But they will find anything and everything, and you will be paying like you buy a $500 car, and you're going to have to spend $4,000 to get it road legal. So with Quebec, once the vehicle has been safetied, as long as you don't let the license plate expire, it doesn't need a safety, right? And you have a year minus a date to do that, right? Otherwise, you have to, whether you own the vehicle or you're selling the vehicle, it has to still have the plate on it. If you cancel the plate, then whoever buys it has to safety. That's why people never expire the plate, right? So when they go to sell it, whatever. So you say, well, just buy something from Ontario. Good luck. Some people get away with it. Most people don't. Everybody will tell you when they got away with it, but trust me, for every one guy that can buy a vehicle in Ontario and then transfer it over here, do the safety check on it without any problems, is like 1 in 1,000. Like everybody else, oh no, you need this $300, $500, $4,000. You know what I mean? And again, in the price range I'm going to be at, every vehicle is going to need something. You know what I mean? Um, and I think there's like a 150 point check that they do. So it's like they're gonna find something. Maybe your brakes and all that stuff are good, but the obvious stuff, but like when it comes to certain sensors and all that, they're like, oh, your Cadillac converters are done. You know. Apparently they don't do the exhaust for the safety. Doesn't that they let that slide, but the cats I don't think they do. And if you have to replace that, there's like $3,000 right there. 2 to 3 grand minimum per vehicle. Trucks, good luck on that. They are expensive. Cats are very expensive. Um, and Yeah, so I can't just throw money at stuff willy nilly. A lot of people never understand that about me. It's like I really am strategic with how I spend because look, my last car lasted 3.5 months. It was only $500, but like 3.5 months, and now it's been quite a few months without it, right? The other car, I got a year out of it almost to the day. My truck, when it broke down, I only got 11 months out of that. I paid $6,200 for that. And guys, I just can't keep taking these hits. Like they're real. It hurts me so much every time I have to buy a vehicle every year, right? So I'm willing to hold out. Like it's just the question is it's like it hurts. It's going to hurt me for snow removal in the winter unless people are willing to come and get me and drop me off, which most people are. And I know it's a pain in the ass and whatever. And I tell people, oh, hopefully it should be. Not too long. But like again, it's one of those things. Like I've already been through this like 5 times. You know what I mean? What it is like it's like you have to wait until the vehicle pops up for the right price. And, you know, will I take another $500 beater? Well, the thing is like I've been saying, the only difference between a used vehicle and a new vehicle is the used vehicle is a time bomb. The new vehicle is a time bomb with a warranty, right? You know, the year doesn't matter. Like when people are selling their vehicle, they're selling it for a reason. They're not selling it because it's the best vehicle ever. But once in a while, like for example, I missed out on a really great vehicle from one of my clients who bought a new vehicle because the other one was old. There was nothing wrong with it. Like it drove fine. You know, like never missed a maintenance. That's what I'm looking for. And she got rid of it for like $3,000, and that would have been an excellent car probably for another 4 or 5 years for me. It's just like every 10 years she buys a new car, whether she needs one or not. She's got the money to do it, right? You know, those are very rare that you get lucky like that, but sometimes you do. You know, sometimes you do, right? But, you know, like the vehicles I buy, they're not worth putting money into either. Like I know you have to put some money into it, but like it's like when you buy a $500 vehicle, you just run it into the ground. Like you know, you're not going to do a $3,000 brake job on a $500 vehicle. It's not going to be worth it. You know, like the day after you do that, it could, you know, so the rust and all that is a big one. You know what I mean? Like when the vehicle's so rusty that you know, you just really don't want to stick any money into it, right? So you know, you got to replace the windshield, you got to replace the brakes, the brake lines, the exhaust, you know, all the stuff, right? The steering components, power steering components. I mean, you know, like that car, my Dodge Avenger, if I would have replaced the power steering on that, was $1,000. The heater core, that thing was going to be, you know, like I had the heater core, but you know, it's another $1,100 to get that put in if you get somebody else put it in. I'd say, well, do it yourself. Well, that's fine when you have all the time in the world and a shop to work on. But like again, working on these things out on the grass and stuff like that, and you know, weather's, you know, all over the place. Uh, and you have limited time. Like for me to work on a vehicle, like it takes me a month to get it all done just because you get this far and then, oh, you got to go run to the store and get another piece, and oh, they don't have it, you got to order it, and you know what I mean. So it's like I'd rather just drop it off at a mechanic and let him deal with it. Problem is that's big money too, and a lot of mechanics are so booked up that, you know, it's like, okay, yeah, it's a 2 month wait to have it looked at, and some of them will just tell you that because it's like, okay, that's an old rust bucket. Like they know what they're getting into. It's like, oh, I'm really busy. I'm really busy. They just don't want to work on it, rather than just tell you they don't want to work on it. They string you along for 7 months. You know, it's not easy to find a mechanic either. So this is what happens when you buy the really cheap vehicles, right? You got to understand that you're going to be driving it into the ground. You have to live it a bit to understand it. Like I know a ton of guys that buy $500 vehicles and they put like $5,000 worth of parts on it, and when they could have just saved that money for a vehicle that was maybe a bit better. And that's what I'm doing right now. It's just like, okay, I can live without the vehicle for now. It is a pain in the ass. Yes, it's demoralizing, it's debilitating kind of thing that you can't just up and go when you want. But it's kind of is what it is, and you just kind of accept it for that. And then it's just like, okay, yeah, but you know, hold out for the better deal will, in the long run, be the wiser decision, even if it's not the convenient decision. And that's with pretty much anything in life, I guess. I got about another 5 minutes or so. I could do some work, but I'm going to be doing work all day, so, and I'm probably going to be soaking wet all day too. So it's going to be I'm definitely going to have to put on my my rain pants, whipper snipping and brush cutting there today. Yeah, I'm going to be soaking wet. But the good news is that like things are coming along in here, and you know, like I'm already starting production, so to speak. By this weekend, my goal is to have my recording, even if I don't record, but have it set up. I don't know how I want to set everything up yet. Basically, the stage has been set. We'll just around, so you see the microphone stand is up against it. But that wall, basically the way you see that right now, that's how that wall is going to stay. Think of from basically the lamp forward as a stage for filming. Now I'm going to get drop curtains, all that stuff to make things a little bit nicer than the back wall. But I looked at the aesthetic of the video I did yesterday, the Aussie tribute there, the Mama I'm Coming Home, and it looked good in the black and white. Like it really did. Like there's no clutter on the wall. About painting and all that stuff. What can I say about that? Yeah, but I'm not going to paint going into the winter. If you've ever painted a room in your house during the winter, you know how you know that's about. You realize about a week after you should have waited till spring when you can open the windows because you get so stuffed up. Everything tastes like paint. Ask me how I know. Like I had a friend that painted his room. There's a bunch of us guys living in the house, and I gotta paint my room. And he painted the room, the whole fucking house. It's like it didn't stink that bad, but for about a week after, everything tasted like paint. You know what I mean? Like he's like, oh man, you should have waited till spring. All those fumes. Yeah, and he had to sleep in that right away. He's like, oh, I can't be healthy. It's not that bad, but it's paint it with the windows open. By the time you're done, one wall's already dry. There's not a lot of fumes, that kind of stuff. Because I still haven't slept down here yet. I want it. I'm not going to do that till after I vacuum and all that stuff. I've been through a couple of loads of laundry and probably going to do another one pretty soon. Like as I get things cleaned up here and like all the distraction stuff of like cleaning the woodshed, cleaning out the basement. Once I get the basement cleaned out, like I'm gonna get that RV foam and I've seen some cracks under the cinder blocks and stuff like that. So I'm seeing where the water was coming in a bit, but on the next real heavy rainfall, you saw that the crawl space that I opened up there the other day. I'm going to monitor that during the rain to see exactly where the water is running in. My hunch is that was running in more on the top because you can see like the back wall. I've got it all dug across, but you can see that it was right up above the siding, right? So by going below that, digging it out, even if water pools in there a little bit, like I'm going to probably have to dig it out, every other year or whatever, just kind of stay on top of it. I think that's what my grandfather did. Because the hill, it's just going to keep eroding down until it packs and whatever. But I'm going to clear it back probably minimum 10 feet, even if I only get like say 2 or 3 feet done for now for this season, and just keep plugging away at it. Like the briars and all that, they're tearing out pretty easy. And the goal with that will be basically to try to get the runoff to go the other way. Before it goes into the basement. Because if I can keep the basement dry, the rest of the house will be fine. Anyway, I'm going to leave it at about that because my client's probably going to be here any moment now. And I don't know, maybe I'll do something. I don't know. We'll see.